I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News, Exposing Satanic World Government. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the live chat, we ask that you keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platforms we're utilizing tonight, which is YouTube and Facebook. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I go live. If you are watching us over on Facebook, again, welcome. Please like the page, share on your social media so we can get out of being shadow banned and grow the page again. So I want to put my apologies out there for everybody who had a reminder set, or if you had, you saw that we were going to be live. I was going to be live tonight. I'm going early. Several different reasons. First off, I'm not feeling very good. I'm very tired today. Heat has been killing me. I woke up early this morning, took a shower, and went and picked up my groceries. Walked out of the house. It was about 8:15, 8:20, and it was already 79% humidity and 88 degrees. I have lupus, and it just takes everything out of me. That, and I do have dinner ready. Dave is not home yet. He should have been home a couple hours ago, but he's gotten held up in downtown Chicago. So when he does get home, I want to feed him, and I want to go to bed early tonight because I have to be up at 3 a.m. to get him out the door. So, but I just want to say welcome. There's quite a few new people that have subscribed today. I want to take that opportunity to say welcome to you guys. We usually have a bigger chat when I go later in the evening. But to make yourself at home, introduce yourself to our chatters. This is a safe place. There is no drama allowed in here. This is a channel that I do nothing but content on. So welcome. All right, so into what's going on today. So I don't know if you guys, the weather here in the States has been completely unbelievable the last 2 months. I follow a YouTuber and a guy over on TikTok. His name's Ryan Hall. He has a YouTube channel called Ryan Hall Y'all, and he is a meteorologist, and he does a fantastic job. He's got tornado storm chasers at his disposal. I'll put the link in the description area below for you guys to subscribe to him. He has thousands of people in his rooms watching his content, and he saved many lives over the last few months that he has been on social media doing what he is doing. And big shout out to Ryan. But as you watched over the last couple of months, he gets really into it. He gives us all of the tornado warnings, and like I said, he saved a number of lives over the past few months that he's been doing this. For those of you that know me, I live in Chicago. Moved here from Phoenix, Arizona in 2015. Dave forgot to tell me that I live now in Tornado Alley. The most activity I would get out in Phoenix would be during monsoon season, which takes place right around the humidity has to get up to a certain, or dew point has to get up to a certain point, but it's usually right around the end of June, early, maybe 4th of July weekend, and goes through September-ish, depending on, again, when the dew point falls. And we have haboobs out there, which are sandstorms, huge storms. And you just watch them just, from the ABC affiliate out in Phoenix will put the helicopter up, and you'll just watch this haboob come across and just engulf and devour the valley. Total downpours, microbursts, which kind of, if you don't know what they are, they kind of mimic tornado damage and winds, and just, it's amazing out there. My favorite time of year, by the way. And when I moved in here in March of 2015, and Dave failed to put in the welcome pamphlet for me that we lived. Yes, Roth Devlin over in our Facebook chat, he says, like the scene from The Mummy. Absolutely. I couldn't describe it any more in detail than that. But anyway, so Dave forgot to put in the welcome pamphlet that I now lived in Tornado Alley. For the first few several months, I was on the truck with him and traveling with him across the country. He's a truck driver. We own our own company. And so I really didn't get too much, too much of the weather here, weather out on the road, but that was about it. 2016 rolls around, and I decided, I'm probably going to start staying home. He was teaching me the books. He was teaching me the business. I was more of a help to him at home on the computer, on the phone, on the fax machine, and stuff like that. And it was April of 2016. I will never forget this. And April, May, it was right around there. Every Tuesday, first Tuesday of every month, we have the sirens that go off, and they test them. And I'm on the phone with him, and I'm like, at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the phone with him, like, what is that sound? And I open up the back door. I was like, what is this? And I hold up the phone, and he starts laughing. He goes, oh, that's the tornado siren. I'm like, tornado siren? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, tornado siren? And about 2 weeks after that, a tornado hit just not very far from here. And that was my first experience of taking my cat and going to my basement. And it's a big joke because I always tell people, I don't care about going to the basement. I've got wine down there. I'm good because I'm a firm believer. Look, I watched Wizard of Oz, and as a firefighter, they would tell you if you're going to fall or if you're going to be taken off balance to relax, because as soon as you tighten up, you're more apt to hurt yourself than when you fall and hit the ground. So my thinking is this: if I'm going to be sucked out of the roof of my house, it probably wouldn't be as bad if I got a bottle of wine in me, So I'm always joking around. Elizabeth lives very close to me. She, her and I, we live too close to have never met each other yet. Let's just put it that way. And I'm ashamed that we have not met each other yet. But we were talking yesterday on Facebook, and I was like, y'all need to come over here. Let me ask you, Elizabeth, did you have the rolling blackout this morning? Because we did here. We lost power a few times this morning. It was really weird. It was literally a rolling blackout. It would pop off and then come back on and pop off again. And so I'm hoping that we keep the power on. So yeah. All right. So over the last little while, and I'm going to bring this up and we're going to play this, there has been some things happening out in Yellowstone. Now, the thing of it is where'd it go? Here it is. The thing of it is, guys, with Yellowstone is I've been warning people about Yellowstone for quite a while. Even as far back as 2013 and 14, talking about Yellowstone. And here's my theory on Yellowstone. So let me put this up. So we know that we live in one of the huge calderas. The Yellowstone, the North American caldera, is under Yellowstone. And over the past few years, a number of earthquakes have risen. The ground is rising. The temperature is rising. Old Faithful's not as faithful as he once was. We're having things happening. Dave and I, a year ago, we took a trip to the Pacific Northwest for his mother's funeral. And on our way back, we came through Yellowstone, and I was amazed at the damage that is being done there by the what are they called? Vents. The vents that are coming up and releasing toxic and noxious gases. Literally, trees look like they've been through. It looks like another planet. They're completely dead. There's nothing there. It's just pieces of wood sticking up and singed, and it's almost like a life-altering experience to go through Yellowstone. But so things have been happening. I'm going to play a video in just a moment of YouTuber here, Mary Greeley. Been following her for years. She's the one that she watches what happens in Yellowstone. She's told us that over the years, the USGS has shut off several of the monitors that are monitoring for seismic activity under that area. And they do that because they know that we can look at this information and we can tell what's going on. And they don't want that. Probably for good reason. I mean, it's not very nice what could happen. Okay, so this is my theory, and this has been my working theory for a number of years. I want you guys to think of the caldera, the crust of the earth, as a windshield. And it's a very hot windshield. All right. People have suggested over the years that the Hoover Dam was going to be destroyed. And if that was to happen, that would release a lot, well, not so much water anymore, but back when this was talked about, there was a lot of water in Lake Mead. Not so much anymore. But if the dam was to burst, this water would go into groundwater that normally wouldn't be saturated like it is. So I want you to think about the uh, the the crust of the earth being the windshield. What happens when cold water hits a windshield? Boom, it cracks. And that is exactly what would happen to the crust if it were to be hit with this cold water. So yesterday, I came across a video. I'm going to play it for you right now. What's going on in Yellowstone? All right, let's play it. Okay, the brown patch on the left, that's the river. The white patch that you see zigzagging or twisting on the right, that's the road that has been washed out. And that's the water that's going through and flooding Yellowstone. Look at that, roadways and the water. Okay. And they have closed parts of Yellowstone because of this water that they have coming through there. All right, now I'm going to go and I'm going to play a quick video by Mary Greeley. And she's going to tell us that Yellowstone Park has been evacuated because of the flooding.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. I appreciate you joining me. I've been busy today. I just posted a video about Yellowstone. I had one of my followers who just went to Yellowstone, was there at the park. I was talking to him live for probably 2 hours until at least 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I think it's probably about the same time there. It was a light drizzle, and there was no heavy rains going on. And they're saying that they're closing the park because of flooding. Let me show you something. They're claiming landslides and all kinds of stuff. Here is the gauge, measures the water level there at Yellowstone River at Fishing Bridge. Now, they're not even close to flooding. They're saying, oh, the river, it's actually dropping. Nothing for flooding up except for here. We're currently at 5, almost 6 feet. They must have had one heck of a storm that came through there after I got off the phone with Josh and his family. Here we got 7 p.m. when I was talking to him. It was light rain. And this is Gardner, or a monitor up there by Gardner. It jumped to 13.88 feet, and it was about 10 feet. So it rose, a few feet? It says here that flood stage was at 11 feet. Now they're reporting mudslides. It looks like here on this map, all the flooding is up there in Montana because minor flooding is light orange. Minor flooding. Green is no flooding whatsoever, and this is Yellowstone. Now over here at Yellowstone, they do have one. Let me see if I can get it to come up. Let me move this over. Okay, now this is Grassy Lake Reservoir. And it says flood stage is at 72 12 feet, 7,212 feet. Yeah, that must be one heck of a deep reservoir. That's all I can say. It looks like there's absolutely no flooding whatsoever within the park other than the Grassy Lake Reservoir. Now, this one down here is Pacific Creek near Moran, Wyoming. Okay, Yellowstone River, that's outside the park. This one here, Galveston, outside the park. Stillwater River, these are all at Orange. And Clark's Fort of the Yellowstone at Eger. Now, that's outside the park. This article here states all Yellowstone National Park entrances to remain closed at least through Wednesday. They have a video here where a road has been washed out. It says filmed by Yellowstone helicopter manager from a park helicopter. It does not state where this road is. Like I said, I just showed you. Yeah, that must have been one heck of a storm that came in late last night. Yellowstone National Park has now closed all entrances to the park due to flooding, rock slides, and mudslides. No inbound visitors traffic at any of the 5 Yellowstone entrances on Tuesday, June 14th, and Wednesday. Now, this is for tomorrow. And June 15th at a minimum. Okay, this is flooding along the north entrance, the road into the park. Power is out at multiple park locations. It kind of reminds me the situation of that movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where they faked this virus and closed down. Yeah, it was in Yellowstone. All visitors and around that mountain where the aliens were supposed to come. Talking about multiple roads that are closed, bridge failures, mudslides, and other issues. Yeah, I cannot help but wonder. Yeah, it's high here. This is the Firehole River. It is high. I have to admit that it is high. That must have been one heck of a yeah. Did they chemtrail it? Is this weather modification to deliberately close down the park because of the rise in activity in sulfur that is affecting the people that visit there? The hydrogen that people have told me personally that they're smelling? Yeah, is this deliberate? I really have to question the timing of all this. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching.
And I will put the link to Mary Greeley's video in the description area, along with all the other ones, as I normally do. You know, I always cite my sources for you guys, and I hope you do take advantage of them and you do your due diligence. Remember, study to show thyself approved, test all things. That's what we're commanded to do. You know, so I hope you guys are doing that. Don't ever take my word for it. Don't ever take anybody's word for anything. Do your own research. And I give you ample sources to do that with, as always. So Mary said she's seeing that things are inconsistent with what we're being told. I'm going to pull up right here. Yellowstone National Park shuts down to visitors due to extremely hazardous condition following rainfall and heavy flooding. Now, I showed you guys the video. Here we have still photos of it. Now, I'm going to tell you guys that a lot of the river isn't right in the park. When we were leaving the park, we had to go. When we went, there were still roads closed, and we had to go into. Now I'm gonna sit here and hold on a minute. Let me pull up my map. We went into Montana. We had to go into Montana, and then the road twisted down, and we had to go back into Wyoming. The way it would have gone, if because we went in April, and like I said, some of the roads were still closed. So otherwise, we could have gone south and just gone where we were going. We were spending the night in Wyoming, but we had to go up, and we had to go into Montana and then drop back down into Wyoming. It took us about another couple of hours. But as we were going north up towards Montana, the river was very wide, and the road was very close to the river, like it showed in that video. So I'm not too sure, or right here in this picture, I'm not too sure where the rainfall came from. But it says all 5 entrances to Yellowstone National Park have been temporarily closed after unprecedented rainfall and flooding damaged the park's infrastructure, creating extremely hazardous conditions. Park officials said the deluge has led to rock slides, mudslides, damaged roads, and power outages. Preliminary assessments show multiple sections of road throughout the park have been either washed out or covered in mud or rocks, and multiple bridges may be affected, officials said in a statement. The park is shut to inbound visitor traffic through at least Wednesday as officials assess the damage. Forecasts are calling for even more rainfall, with the Yellowstone River already at record levels. Visitors began to evacuate from the park on Monday afternoon. There's another picture you can see. Road is washed away. The road is on the left here, and this is the river on the right. We will not know timing of the park's reopening until floodwaters subside and we are able to assess the damage throughout the park. It is likely that the northern loop will be closed for a substantial amount of time, Superintendent Cam Sholey said in a statement. And that is where we drove. We drove actually on the northern loop. And so I know exactly where this is, where the river's the widest, it's the deepest, it runs the fastest. So look at this house. Oh my goodness. Strains on wastewater and water treatment facilities could become a factor, and the park is taking precautions to ensure facilities are not failing, Yellowstone said in a statement. So here is, again, my working theory, which I've had for a number of years. Started out with the conspiracy theory back in 2013 that something was going to happen to the Hoover Dam, releasing Lake Mead and releasing all that water into the ground. And like I said, think of the caldera as a hot windshield, the crust of the earth being hot underneath there. Think of it as a hot windshield. When that cold water hits it, what happens? What happens when you throw cold water on a hot windshield? It immediately fractures. So this has been something that I've been thinking of how they're trying to possibly move along the timeline for Yellowstone. Because, I'm sorry if you're new here, but I'm going to put it out there that depopulation is not a conspiracy theory. Depopulation is real. And they need to get rid of or put to a zero the carbon footprint of humanity. And the only way you're going to bring that carbon footprint down to zero is to get rid of all of humanity. Georgia Guidestones say that their goal is to keep population in a manageable 500 million. You redo the math right now, that's 90% plus reduction of population. If you watch the TED Talk with Gates, he tells you, lays it out. He also tells us that with proper things we're not supposed to talk about, that jab, they can get population down within a few years, a few decades. Can you imagine if they were to move the timeline of this North American caldera and what would happen? If you look on the map that I have right there, the immediate red dot is Yellowstone. The small area around there would be a kill zone. Nobody would survive in that area. And then the next area out of there would have I think it said 80% survival, or I'm sorry, 80% or 20% survival rate. And then the one over the third one is something like, 20%. So the 80% survival rate. And then zone 6 would be covered by ash. And we would essentially go into a planet-wide nuclear winter scenario with all of this ash and going into the atmosphere. Here is an idea of how big Yellowstone is compared to other volcanoes. The one down at the very itsy bottom is Mount St. Helens. Look how teeny tiny that is. And then we've got Pinatubo, we got Krakatoa, Crater Lake, Tambora, Valles Caldera, and then finally Yellowstone. Yellowstone is huge in comparison to Mount St. Helens. In 1980, you guys remember what happened when that went up there. There was no escaping it. You were in that blast area. You didn't survive. You didn't make it out. So if, it's a big if, I'm saying, if Mary Greeley's right and the what do I want to say? I'm sorry, I'm tired, guys. If Mary Greeley is right and it's showing that they're saying that it's higher than what it really is, if the information indicates that it's not as high as they're saying, then why are they evacuating the park? I don't know. We shall see. But, you know, it's not a question of if Yellowstone goes up. It's a question of when it goes up. Is it going to have help? Is it going to be allowed to go natural? We are, I think we're like 20,000 years past the time that they were expecting it to, or it would be expected to blow. So I don't know. Yeah. All right, guys, that's all I got for us tonight. I do apologize for coming early. The other alternative was to cancel until tomorrow, and I didn't want to do that. Update on Wednesday night shows. My participation in the Wednesday night show has been put on hold. I'm not going to get into it publicly as to what happened. But it is a personal choice that I will not be participating in it for a while, or I don't know, indefinitely. I want to concentrate on Global Watchman News. There is a lot of talk amongst everybody in our research team. There will be Linda and Derek and Trish and Ernie, Nancy. And there's several other people in there. I just putting their names out because they're you guys already know who they are. The other ones are new, and I don't know what they would like, to be publicly outed to be in the group. But Robbie has moved on to doing his full-time music, and I wish him nothing but the best. He is more than welcome to come back at any moment that he wants to. I will not take away his access to my StreamYard. I will not take away his access to the channel. He is part of this. He helped build this, and this is his baby too. But in the same sense, he has to make a living, guys. This is what he does. So we wish Robbie the best. But that leaves everything onto me. And my research team has volunteered to step up. We've talked about a few things, getting a few things in motion. I know that Ernie's talking about wanting to do a Bible class, complete Bible study from Genesis to Revelation. He has the option to either do that publicly or privately. Either one, it's up to him. I hope he does it publicly. But if not, we can do it privately, and we can send you make the stream or the video show available to you. And doing other things like that, bringing Derek on and having other people, not just me, present the information to you. So I will be teaching them and giving them access to my StreamYard in the near future and getting that settled and getting that set up. So that's something that I want to do. I've kind of dragged my feet waiting to find out what Robbie was going to do. But you know what? Time is running too short at the moment. I talked to you guys last night about how things at any moment can accelerate. We could be in that climactic end time scenario with just a few hours or a few days. Things are very unstable. And the powers that be are pushing it to be that. Now, whether it is prophecy or whether it's them manipulating prophecy, that remains to be seen. But as always, we do not give into the spirit of fear. The spirit of fear is not from the Most High. It's not from our Heavenly Father. That is truly an emotion and something that the God of this world, Satan, is putting out to us. So always remember, no matter what you see, no matter what you're told, no matter what you hear, remember the Most High, our Creator, Yeshua, He is in control. He is in charge. So with that being said, guys, I would like to remind you all that to stay tuned. I will probably be live Thursday night. Thursday night, I have an interview with Greg Fernandez from the Gray State. We're going to talk about the David Crowley murders. So what I'll do is Thursday, I will put up a teaser and I will give you guys the link to come on over to Greg's channel. And him and I, it's just going to be him and I. We're going to talk about the murders. So I will see you all Thursday night. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you to everybody in the chat room. Thank you to our moderators. Again, thank you to everybody over on Facebook. And until next time, remember, eyes open, no fear.